With the NBA set to return in late July, we're gonna see the reigning champion Toronto Raptors defend their crown. Yet somehow they have managed to get overlooked this season. In this video, we're gonna talk about why the Toronto Raptors deserve more respect as contenders than most are giving them credit for, and why I believe they have a shot at successfully defending their title and becoming back-to-back champions even without Kawhi Leonard on their team. But before we dive into it, if you enjoy this video, subscribe and hit that like button. Also in the description section down below is a link to video breakdowns of a few more teams in regards to this year's playoffs if you're interested. The Toronto Raptors have been having a very nice season so far before everything came to a stop as a result of this pandemic. They have been exceeding everyone's expectations, including my own to be honest. The Raptors are comfortably sitting in the second seed and will likely stay the second seed in the Eastern Conference, even after playing the 8 games to finish out the regular season. And if you zoom out and look at the league, they have the third best record in the NBA, and were on pace to win 57 games despite losing its best player last year. Nick Nurse has implemented a fantastic system, with the right players to execute that system, as the team is ranking 4th in three-pointers made and three-point percentage, which is crucial in today's NBA. The Raptors also have the second best defense in the league. The players are obviously bought in, and the team has very good defenders. And I am also sure that the Raptors are riding that amazing momentum from last year's championship into this year with their terrific chemistry. Players have also stepped up with the departure of Kawhi Leonard. The Raptors have excellent player development, and many of the guys on the team have improved their games. Pascall Siakam may actually have a shot at being the first player in league history to win the Most Improved Player award twice in a row. He made a big jump in production 2 years in a row and is proving his worth after signing that max contract extension in the summer. He's averaging 23.6 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game, and earned his first All-Star selection this year. But if the Raptors want to win it all again this year, Siakam will have to be able to take over on the offensive side during the playoffs like a true superstar #1 scoring option. The Raptors still also have their leader in Kyle Lowry, who at age 34 is having one of the better seasons of his career. He has stepped up his game this season. He is a fighter and constantly inspires his teammates by putting his body on the line. Kyle Lowry is 3rd in the NBA in charges drawn. He also has a knack for jumping for loose balls and knocking down contested improbable three-pointers. He is another great scoring option, but his grit and leadership is crucial for this team. What I believe is the Raptors' greatest strength, though, is their elite depth. They got everything covered, starting with their flourishing guards that the Raptors plucked out of nowhere in Fred VanVleet and Norman Powell. VanVleet has been having a career year, averaging 17.6 points and getting others involved with 6.6 assists per game and nearly 2 steals per game. He has also led the entire league in deflections per game, as he has deflected the ball 4.2 times per game. It'll be very interesting to see how expensive he becomes for the Raptors to retain in the offseason, as this is a contract year for him and he's still only 26 years old. Powell has also been having a career season by scoring 16.4 points on a very efficient 50.8% from the field and nearly 40% from 3. His emergence has been massive for the Raptors. The team also still has their 2 productive veteran bigs in Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka. Gasol is great at getting teammates involved and is still a very good defender for the team. He will be particularly valuable guarding the likes of Joel Embiid as he did last season if the Raptors end up playing the Sixers again. And then there's Serge Ibaka, who complements Gasol's game perfectly with his mid-range shooting and impressive three-point efficiency. He managed to improve his three-point percentage by over 10% while also increasing his three-point attempts. Ibaka has gone from shooting 29% from 3 to nearly 40%. That added spacing obviously opens up a lot more options for the Raptors. The rest of the team is filled out by an impressive defensive player in OG Anunoby. He may not be as good defensively for them as Kawhi was, but he provides them with a good approximation of his defense. And even though he won't normally take over on the offensive side, he is still very serviceable and efficient by scoring on a 50.7 percentage point while improving his shooting from 3 to a very respectable 38%. They also managed to find a very talented and productive rookie in Terrence Davis, who I could see making a lot of noise for the team in the future. The Raptors also got Pat McCaw, who's solid defensively, the energetic Hollis Jefferson, Matt Thomas, who, though doesn't play very much, provides provides incredible efficiency from the three-point line. They also have the very talented and undrafted Chris Boucher, who doesn't play many minutes, but has been incredibly productive in the time he does get. If the team gets any sort of injury, or if someone isn't playing very well, Boucher can end up being a very unpleasant surprise for an opposing team that will very unlikely game plan for him, as Boucher brings per 36 numbers of 17.3 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks. So he is very serviceable not only on offense, but on defense as well. You know, it really is amazing when you think about it just how well Masai Ujiri has zeroed in on talent that others have overlooked. He may well be the best general manager in the NBA. Masai is truly a superstar in his own right. The road to a repeat championship will again be very tough for the Raptors this season, but I will not make the mistake of discounting them. In the first round, they will likely, without much struggle, dispatch the Nets or the Magic, whichever of the two they end up facing. The second round, however, is where the real fun begins, as they will face either the Celtics or the Sixers. It will be a hard-fought series against either of those teams, but I see the Raptors as being the favorites over the Sixers, as the Sixers don't have much shooting, and the Raptors can always throw Gasol at Embiid. Historically, Gasol has given Embiid a very hard time. The Boston Celtics, however, are a different story, as I believe they are also an overlooked team when it comes to the discussion of who the favorites should be in this year's postseason. I think that series can go either way, and though the Celtics' greatest strength is their wing trifecta of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Gordon Hayward, the Raptors certainly don't have any weaknesses in the wing position, as many other teams do. I honestly cannot see any real weaknesses on this Raptors squad, while the Celtics can be exploited at the center position. Now, a rematch against the Milwaukee Bucks will be an even greater challenge for the team this year, as they don't have Kawhi Leonard to utilize against them like they did last postseason. This is where OG Anunoby will have to step up defensively, and Pascall Siakam will have to dominate and take over for them on offense if they want any chance of getting out of the East, to face likely either the Lakers or the Clippers, which will be a massive test in its own right. Now, I'm definitely not saying that the Raptors are favorites to win the championship this year, but they do have more than a puncher's chance of winning, and the gap between the Bucks and the Raptors, for example, isn't as great as Vegas and many other pundits out there make it out to be. And even though the road to winning this year may be more difficult for Toronto, it is still more than fair to say that they have a realistic shot of becoming back-to-back champions. If healthy, they will be a major threat and force come playoff time. What do you guys think? Do you think the Raptors have a real shot at going back-to-back this year? What do you believe is their biggest challenge in this year's playoffs? And again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit that like button. And if interested, of course, check out my other video breakdowns of some of the other teams that I find interesting in this year's playoffs. And thank you again for your support. I really do appreciate it. Till the next one, guys, I'm out.